All right, David, let's move it on. We got the New York Giants versus the Los Angeles Rams in what I think is one of the slam dunk games of the week, frankly, from a betting perspective. I'll just hit you with the projections real quick. I don't think we need to delve too far in. Daniel Jones, there's a Saquon-less New York Giants team. Daniel Jones is a sit. Devonta Freeman, I even called this. I said Devonta Freeman, I like him for the Giants this year, but it's going to take him a while to get the snap count. He's got to get his body ready. The 5 touches did not surprise me at all. They'll continue to climb up and up and up. He wasn't even a factor in the passing game, which he will be later in the year. So I'm just staying away from New York Giants running back until Freeman eventually takes over that. I don't think Gallman or Lewis are threats to that position. Because of that, in this matchup with the Rams, I don't love Slayton this week, and I don't really love anybody else, even Ingram or Tate or anybody else. For the Rams, I like the New York Giants defense. I think they're playing okay, but at this point, I think Darrell Henderson's a start. He looks great. I think Goff, even though I don't have a great projection on him, I think he's going to be really solid this week. I think Kupp is a start. I think Woods is actually a slam dunk. He's my favorite Ram of the week to play. I'm going to stay away from everybody else. And then Higbee, right after we came around, David, we were trashing Higbee all offseason. Right after we came around,
had his 3-touchdown game.
Then
finally
boom.
Gave him respect.
Then Buffalo takes him out. But although I will say it looked to me like Buffalo was scheming to take Higbee away, and they wanted the Rams to beat them with other pieces. And the Rams, for part of that game, they were winning that game. But Buffalo came back to win that game. I know there was some controversy, some awful officiating in that game. I do have a reaction video. If you're a Rams fan, you can check that out. But yeah, I don't think it's anything spectacular here. The Rams are better than the Giants. But what do you think from a fantasy perspective, David?
I'll tell you just how disappointed I am, for one, because I was all in on the Giants this year. I looked at Daniel Jones, what he did as a rookie. I looked at his peaks, how many 3-touchdown games he had, how many 300-yard games he had. I looked at the weapons on this offense. I saw Slayton, who was a major breakout candidate for me. He was my number 1 target on this offense, obviously other than Saquon. Shepard, I thought was a good receiver. Golden Tate, abs depth. Evan Ingram's a great tight end, and it just hasn't happened this year. Even with the Saquon injury, I'm starting to do a complete 180 on this team, and a lot of it has got to do with Jason Garrett. And maybe I'm overreacting to one stat I saw after 2 weeks, but this team was essentially one of the bottom feeders in the leagues in terms of motion, in terms of play action. So it's just bland. This offense is bland. They're not doing anything creative. Jason Garrett has been a head coach for how many years, and now he gets thrown back to being an offensive coordinator. I'm not sure he was in the mindset to be hired as an offensive coordinator, nor am I sure if he was deserving. So you talk about what he's done with this offense through 3 weeks. Absolutely nothing creative. He's caused Daniel Jones to revert as a passer. I mean, Daniel Jones was a rookie last year. He was missing half of his weapons, and he still played well. Hasn't played well. He's had some tough matchups. I was all in on Daniel Jones. I'm out on him now. I mean, I'm starting him in a super flex league because I have to. Darius Slayton, about the only guy I like. Ingram, I mean, you're stuck with him. I spent a couple days ago defending Devonta Freeman on Twitter. I'm already over that.
I think Freeman will be fine. I was projecting him to have a bad week last week just because he's cold. He's got a cold body.
That's fair. But my concern is, I was expecting Freeman to be soaking up a lot of volume as a receiver and to still, maybe get enough rushing volume. I'm not sure he's going to do anything as a rusher in this offense. I'm not sure Jason Garrett is creative enough to get him the ball as a receiver. So I'm out on the entire Giants offense pretty much. Talk about the Rams on the flip side. I'm buying in big time.
Yeah.
One guy who stands out to me after this past week is Darrell Henderson.
Yeah, he looks great.
And I put out a little bit of a thread. I felt like I was a little bit too late on it. I wish I had made this connection before I wrote my waiver wire column on Tuesday. But Darrell Henderson might be, speaking of Devonta Freeman, he might be Devonta Freeman 2.0. And the comparisons are across the board, right? You look at Freeman and Henderson college production. As a senior, Freeman had 1,200 total yards, 15 touchdowns as a senior. Henderson at Memphis, 2,000 total yards and 25 touchdowns as a senior, right? Coming into the NFL at the Combine, Freeman, 5'8", 206. Henderson, 5'8", 208. So they're essentially built the same. They were the same kind of college running back. Talk about the athleticism. Freeman, 4'4", 940 to Freeman's 4.58. and Freeman jumped 31.5 inches in vertical. Henderson 33.5. So Henderson might even be a little bit more athletic than Freeman. Talk about drafted by a powerful offense. Freeman drafted by the Falcons, who were a top 12 scoring offense when he was drafted. Henderson was drafted by the Rams the year after they were the number 2 scoring offense. So again, you're talking about a guy who was drafted into a high offense, underwhelmed as a rookie. That's
what really confused me about Henderson, but there you go.
But look at it. Freeman, 65 carries for 248 yards and 1 touchdown as a rookie. Henderson, 39 for 147. Again, terrible rookie seasons for both of them. They did not produce. Coincidentally, both of them averaged 3.8 yards per carry. What happened in their second year? You look at Devonta Freeman. He slipped under the radar. Why? Because they drafted Tevin Coleman 1 year after drafting Freeman, 1 round higher than they drafted Freeman. They drafted Tevin Coleman in the 3rd, a year after drafting Freeman in the 4th. What's happened with the Rams this year? Darrell Henderson slips under the cracks.
Yep.
Why? Because the Rams drafted a running back 1 year after they drafted Henderson. Coincidentally, 1 round higher than they drafted Henderson. They took Akers in the 2nd after drafting Henderson in the 3rd last year. The parallels are just across the board for the Henderson-Freeman comparison. Then you look at what they did to start their second year. Devonta Freeman outplayed a rookie Tevin Coleman early in his second year. He didn't look back. He seized control of the lead gig in an explosive offense, and he became an every-week starter. Darrell Henderson, I feel it's deja vu.
Yeah.
He's outperforming a rookie Cam Akers early in the season, looks to be taking control. This was a tough Buffalo matchup, by the way, against the run.
Yeah.
He put up 100 yards and a touchdown. He has taken control of this backfield. Cam Akers could factor in. Tevin Coleman factored in Devonta Freeman's rookie year. It didn't seem to stop him, or second year, I should say. It didn't stop him. I believe he was the number 1 running back in fantasy that year. So Darrell Henderson, go out and buy him in redraft. If you can buy him in Dynasty, go out and buy him. I mean, I think the value is going to continue to rise for this guy.
I agree, and it was really confusing. So if you follow me, you may know this, but I'm a UCF alum. So I watch a lot of that conference's game, and back in the day with Henderson when he was kind of the rookie there, the UCF and Memphis would always duke it out in the conference championship game, and Henderson just looked fantastic, in these games against UCF and his games everywhere. Then he gets to the Rams and he basically falls flat his rookie season. I was just like, what in the world is going on there? Because he had ample opportunity to make the field, he just couldn't do it. So then he comes out this year and he looks like he did as a rookie running back. I believe he was the starter, by the way, over Tony Pollard, who played pretty well for Dallas in Tony Pollard's rookie season. Like, he's got talent. And I got to say, in terms of college tape, if you compare Henderson to Akers, and I'm not a buyer of the argument about the conference play and the conference schedule, Akers just didn't look as good to me on tape as Darrell Henderson did when he was in college. So I'm with you, David. I don't think Akers gets this job back. Now, I think he'll have a role, don't get me wrong, but I think this is Henderson's gig. I think he's run away with it. He looks tough. You talk about Devonta Freeman in the characteristics. He looks tougher than Devonta Freeman running the ball. Like, he looks strong, and he can catch, and he can run routes. In this offense with Sean McVay and their commitment to the run game, the recommitment this year to the offensive line, I'm a big buyer on him. I completely agree with you. Let me hit you with the line in this one, David. We got the New York Giants. Bovada has it plus 13 versus the Rams.
Oh,
big line.
Ooh, wow. Let me just say one more thing about Darrell Henderson, too, because I know I've spent so much time on him already. Talk about how he looks powerful. That's backed up on the paper, because you go look at yards after contact per attempt to start this year. Darrell Henderson, he's near the top. I think got to take the Rams. I spent all this time trashing the Giants, how out I am on them. Rams are a good team, man. The Giants are just falling apart.
Yeah. It's a little bit rough for them. It's losing Saquon. It was like a gut punch to everybody on that team. I don't think they've rebounded yet. We were talking about Breeze and losing Michael Thomas out of his lineup. It took 6 quarters for them to adapt. I think it'll take a while for the Giants. I wrote down the score. My prediction was Rams 24, Giants 10. So I don't love this line at 13. That's a lot of points delay, but I'll take the Rams as well this week. So